That's it. We're live.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
What's cool, Luch, is inside the platform here. If you click comments, you can see both Twitter and YouTube comments in there.
Oh,
So
on the streamer.
Yeah, you'll be able to see it all on streamer, so you don't have to go anywhere else.
Very nice.
You wanna? I mean, I was putting up just my chart, but we could put up yours if you want to. Whatever you want to do.
Oh, okay. Are we
put up?
We're on some live trading shit right now.
Yeah, it's live, bro.
Oh shit. Oh shit. Okay, let me talk Bashard here. How do I do this? Present.
Yeah, hit present. You can put
present,
it up
share
a chart.
Screen. Don't show these tips again because I don't need no tips because I'm a motherfucking man. You know what I'm saying? Window. Oh, so it has to just be a window. It can't be.
No, it could be an application.
No, but it could. Can it be just because all my apps are? You know what I mean? They're all standalone. So
yeah.
It can only be one of them. It can't be a section of a screen.
No, you have to either show the full screen or like select one app.
Oh, bro.
I mean, I could just toss up a chart of SPX with VIX and shit on it that I usually do.
Yeah, do that.
All right.
Yeah, do that.
See
as long as I can see it.
See my vomit shit. Actually, you know what? Better yet, I'll just toss up the shit from the 0-day broadcast.
You could do that. That'd be even better.
Let's do that shit. Easy.
Do that shit.
And I could just show a big ass window and I can keep my shit up.
I got some short puts. I gotta manage a little bit here.
I like your tweet. Didn't even know I'm live right now.
Yes, sir. That's good that you'll have the screen up because I need to see that screen anyway. Okay.
Yeah.
Get out of the fucking Zoom. You got it up yet though over there? What are you doing over there, man?
What do I got an echo right now?
Echo.
Oh, it's because I got the stream up and Norse is listening to us.
That's what it is.
Yeah, I just got to mute him. Hold up.
Oh, mute Norse.
Sorry, Norse, I'm muting you, bro.
Mute that fucking Norwegian herb.
Oh, shit, that means I got to go to Chrome to do this. Did you take anything this morning with all the shenanigans?
Number one, like after the gap up, I mean, obviously we got to talk about this. I mean,
hell yeah.
The whole conversation is tariff traps here. They're just talking. You know what I mean? I didn't even know who the fuck this Besant guy was until yesterday. Who is this guy? Who is this dude? And is it Bussin or is it Besant?
No, it's Besant. He's the Secretary of the Treasury.
I didn't know who this fucking dude was until yesterday. And now all of a sudden, boom, shitstorm. And because, you know, let's talk about it since yesterday. Yesterday, we had the squeeze. And, we had the gap up. 2 days ago, we're trading all the way, almost looking like we were going back to 500 on SPY. And they had everybody just buying puts. We saw them all come in. And boom, they gapped us up. And in my head, I was like, all right, I'm shooting long and I'm shooting heavy. So I went super heavy, Qs, SPX, and Netflix long. Actually, I actually made the most money on Netflix long. Because Netflix straight out the gate, it just ripped like 20, 30 points and then just kept going. Shout out to all the DGens who pay $20 a month for this piece of shit platform where, is at all-time highs. You should have bought the fucking stock. Too busy being a fucking DGen sitting there watching anime and what else? What else they got on that? Whatever trash they got on that fucking platform. Anyway, so I bought the Netflix and then I went long everything. I get out I get out at like 523, 524 on SPY because I was like, all right, I did pretty good.
Yeah.
We had a little pullback, and then all of a sudden, comments from Besson come out saying, we're going to relax things with China and all this kind of stuff. Then we retrace a decent amount of it, and then almost close back everything. We almost closed back at the highs overnight. Then the herb comes back out and says whatever, and then I think Trump backed and then we had the Tesla news come out, and they were talking about Musk is bouncing from Doge and going back to Tesla, and then Trump said something else. What did he say this morning? He said something about where I'm not going to fire Powell. Obviously, I ain't going to fire Powell, and then I think it was some other comments from Besson about China.
Yeah, they just backtracked everything. It was flip-flop the entire fucking time. China, it's gonna be better. We're not gonna have this tariffs. Oh, that's gonna take 2 years, and then Elgos went crazy.
Then this morning, the herb is still. Did he even go to sleep? Did the motherfucker even go to sleep? I don't think he went to sleep. Then he's talking at 10 o'clock again. Programs go crazy. I haven't seen spreads that wild in a long time. And all the spreads that I was looking at, super far out of the money. They went absolutely nuts. 5-point spreads. And all this is just talk, man. All this is talk. And to me, it's just going to get walked back, and it's just going to, and people are going to sell into this. And you got to remember, we're still in that market where you get gap ups like this. People are going to come into this. People are going to sell into this. And it's just a matter of time. But there's traps. There's traps that are set by all these tariff talks. And in reality, it's just talk, man. It's just talk. And the fact that we can move, bro, we were up over 100 handles. Over 100 handles on bullshit, dude. On bullshit. But you know how many shorts got? Oh, poor shorts, man. It always.
Yeah, they got crushed. I mean, we even had people that were trading like puts, and then like that headline came out, they got shook out of all that shit before we just cratered even lower today.
Yeah, absolutely. So today I haven't been trading much because I want the gap. I want that gap. So the SPY gap that they put in from the overnight, which is all the way from friggin' whatever, SPY 525 or whatever the hell it is, I want that gap to retrace. But they're going to trap people long now, and they're going to, remember, you're going to be stuck in a tariff trap somewhere. So the next piece of news that comes out, maybe it's positive for the next couple of days, and then boom, next week, all of a sudden, something happens, and down we go, and we retrace the whole fucking thing. And I want that trade with size.
I mean, the gap's on SPY's down to 527 is where we closed yesterday, right?
Yeah,
like 527-ish.
Yeah, something like that. And then if you backtrack the other day, you're talking about 520 and further down. What I'm most pissed about was the Facebook. I had a ton of this Facebook yesterday, and it just didn't want to run, and it put in a 30-point move higher in the overnight. So you had to be in. You had to be in on the overnight. So that's what's making people very frustrated, because you're coming in on the morning without making money on the gap, and then you're forcing trades during the day, and you're trying to make something happen. And a lot of people are over trading a lot of this mess. So hey, but there's both sides of it. There was a great short today, and there's been great juice, especially in the 0 DTEs, man. Always in the 0 DTEs. This shit is moving and it's juicy, and we love it. We love it.
Yeah, that's been the trades today. I mean, even some of the people in the room that usually like trade from a longer time frame, and just in the day, like they're like, hey, I'm looking for a full fade move. I mean, they're taking 5-minute trades, which I've usually never really seen. I mean, Kelly took 9 positive trades today, right? Just scalping shit just on the cues, like 50 handle moves.
Yo, he was calling him out. He called out all calling him out, man. He was calling him out this morning.
He was fucking slinging.
I should have stuck in the main room for today.
Yeah, I've actually taken a decent amount of trades today, but some good, some bad. I mean, up on the day, which is good, but I mean, these headlines, even some of them, you weren't even getting the momentum on some of them. Like, it's just a one candle headline, they retrace the whole fucking move of whatever it is, like down 100 points in NQ, then it's back up, and you're like, all right, well, are they going to keep going? And you don't know.
Yeah, I caught the gold move overnight. That was the one
That's
thing that I
huge.
caught overnight. So I caught that move overnight, and then I'm adding to all my June and July puts, and I'm going for a retest of those lows, basically all the way the fuck back down to where we sold off at. So 400 SPY type stuff. So I'm shooting for that. It might take a little bit more time, but I think we're going all the way back down there. And I don't care what. I don't even care if they clear up the China stuff, whatever that case is, or if they don't. Of course, if they don't, the catalysts will be down there. Even if they do, I think we still go down there. So that's my bias for now. You guys know I'm a bear. And
you and me both. I have the same bias. I mean, I'm good with them. I don't care if they even move this shit up to, if we get another rally and we go up to 5,600, I don't care. I care about the short from that position.
Exactly.
Down to, I mean, shit, man. I'm gonna tell you a crazy number. I want to see us get to 4,000 SPX.
I mean, you get everybody down there. Joe, did you remember somebody was floating around? And I still can't get anybody to fucking send me this shit. I've been asking everybody. Do you remember they were floating around with that graphic that said, in the last couple of weeks, there's been a huge influx of money from retail and from that's been sitting on the sidelines or whatever? There was a graph that showed it very well, and basically it just said people are pouring in money into this dip, looking for for all-time highs.
Yeah, I'll find it for you, but basically you're not wrong. It's mostly retail again. Hedge funds. And institutional people are still doing nothing. They're just selling, but retail is just, I don't even know how much that they have even more money on the sidelines to throw. And they've been buying every fucking dip,
which is
a month.
But in the amount that they were talking about,
it was nuts.
Those are the people that are going to come out, and those are the people that are going to really cause this next leg, because once they lose faith and they got to get out, that's going to be the catalyst. And and those are my best trades, man. When I'm sitting around waiting for somebody to be in, enough volume to be positioned on the wrong side of the trade, that way we can take it. And that's, by the way, that's how I crushed the first move down, man. Obviously, had I held another day, I would have made fucking 20x.
Yeah,
but
still a fucking insane hold, regardless,
Yeah, but that's how I caught it. So I don't know if you guys remember, but that day, can you pull up a chart of just S&P for the last, I don't know, for the year, I guess.
Yeah,
for this year.
I gotta swap it, but I will.
And I'll show you what happened. So basically, that day where there was rumors floating around, and this was the day of the Trump announcement, right? Trump made the announcement after the market closed on the tariffs, right? And what did he call that day, bro? What did he call that day? He called it Liberation Day, bro. He called it Liberation Day. That day, on Liberation Day, look at this shit, all right? Oh, we got Beige Book coming out. Oh, let's see what happens here. It's not brown, it's not cream, it's somewhere in between. It's the Beige Book. This is a nothing burger. So anyways.
No, I ain't nothing off of this.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go to that date. So this is April, beginning of April. Okay. It's fucking D-Day, Liberation Day. And take a look at that green candle right there. All right. And yeah, pull it up on that. Nope. The day. Nope. Keep going back.
Oh, you want to go further?
No. Just to your cursor.
Oh, got you.
Right. So it's beginning of April. It's like April 4th right there.
Yeah. So April 4th is.
Bingo. That day. That green candle right before.
Yeah.
So go to April. Say that day right there. Now, the rumors were floating around that day that he was just going to do 10%. And it was enough. It was enough to get everybody long. And if you looked at the puts, the price of puts, they went to shit. They went to complete shit. Everybody was convinced, and everything was going to be all good. And I felt it in my head. I was already short going into it. Like I knew I was going to have to hold into some pain, because they're gonna shake you out. They have to make sure the least amount of people are in this trade before it happens. So I look at the price of the puts. I look at the 5,400 puts, bro. I looked at the 5,400 puts. I think we closed that day at like 56 or something. And I looked at Friday's expo. right? I think it was a Wednesday or something like that. It was a two. I don't know what day it was. So I looked at an expo 2 days out, and they were going for $6, bro. They were going for $6, 200 handles out, or maybe like 150 handles out. They opened the next day at fucking $90, bro. Like, that was the entry. So that was the real entry. Now, I got in just a small bit of that, just to test if I was right. Because in my head, you have to make sure the least amount of people are in this trade. You have to make sure everybody's positioned long. And that's exactly that. That's what it looked like into the close. So only on the basis of that, I took the shot. So I had a 10K. I threw 10K in there. I made 100 on that. And then as soon as the market opened, I went all in short everything else. Right? I went all in short fucking every tech, SPX, Qs, everything. Right? And I held the lotto that
you held through here, right?
Exactly. So I held through the second day. Now, I sat there watching the screen, and my plan was do not sell until tomorrow morning when they gap it down. Because usually when you see stuff like this and that many people are trapped on the wrong side, what do? We close at lows of day, and then we usually gap in that direction. So I couldn't fucking do it, Joe. My fucking emotions were just too jittery, bro. So I'm up all this fucking money. I'm like, oh, you have the devil in your head. It's not the devil, but you got two people in your fucking head talking.
Right.
There's probably I probably had 90 voices in my fucking head. And then God forbid you start talking to other people about these trades. That's the worst thing that you could do, because everybody's got their own fucking shitty opinions that you should not be listening to. So long story short, I cut it the end of that day and I rolled a little bit. So I caught the gap down the next day and I took that off immediately. And then I just took myself out of the equation. And then lo and behold, we crashed that second day. So to give you this in perspective, Joe, those $6 options, they went to $500.
That's crazy, dude. That's nuts. Oh my God.
And I got out at 100.
I mean, even getting it to 100 and catching that whole move is impressive, because most people are out long before that. But 500 that's bonkers, dude.
So that was the whole thing. And by the way, all these moves, they happen on the basis of a catalyst, and they happen on the backs of everybody positioned in the wrong way because of these catalysts. So I knew that it was that moment and that moment alone, because that was going to be the catalyst to push everybody on the wrong side. I get on a plane, bro. I had to get on a plane to go to fucking Colombia at 3:00 in the afternoon. So I'm at the airport fucking frantically on the motherfucking phone, man. You know what I mean? I'm frantically on the phone trying to figure out what the hell is going on.
Were you trading on your phone?
I wasn't actually trading. I just had my position. So I already kind of knew what I was going to do. Whether or not anything was going to happen. I didn't have any longs. I had my swing short, and then I had my small, lotto here just to test if I was right. Boom, 4:00. I'm on the plane. Okay. I'm on the fucking plane. We're like taxiing out. So we're starting to lift off. And 4:15 comes around. I'm still checking news. The news comes out. We went up. We went straight up off the news. So we hit like I want to say we hit like 570 on SPY in the after hours. And then in a matter of seconds, boom, crashed down to 545. And that was exactly the point where I lost all the internet. But I saw us at 545. So I had the most comfortable ride to Colombia that I could have ever have had. And now I get off the plane.
But you're in Colombia.
But check this out.
You made all that cash.
Bro, I get off the plane. But remember, the move hasn't happened yet. We're talking about it as if. So I get off the plane. I tell my boy, I'm like, listen, take me to a motherfucking electronics store right now. I need a mouse. I need 2 monitors. Just take me right now. And he's like, yo, tú no quieres comer primero? In Spanish, he's like, yo, you don't want to eat? I'm like, take me to a motherfucking electronics store right now. Do they got Best Buy here? No, it doesn't matter. Take me to wherever the fuck they sell monitors. Boom. I get set up at his crib. Basically, I get it all set up. I'm basically logging into my PC here in Puerto Rico, my remote desktop, because I don't want to spend the time putting all these damn windows and shit up. So I just remote in. And my plan, boom, as soon as the market opens, bro, I was up at 4 a.m., bro. I was up at 4 a.m. doing yoga, fucking meditating, getting my shit together because I didn't realize we were on a different fucking time zone. Finally, market opens. I'm just ready to go. I lean into everything. And I told my boy, I'm like, listen, we're not touching this until the end of the day. Now, I lied, of course, because I started fucking messing around. I couldn't do it, bro. I couldn't fucking.
Yeah, but you were up how much at that point?
Fucking milli
A
plus,
milli.
bro. Milli plus.
Like, how would you not take that? You know what I mean?
It's the difference between 1 and 20, Joe.
Yeah,
1
yeah.
and
It's
10.
true.
It's the difference. It's that thing that we're talking about. So that's going to happen again, but they're going to trap the shit out of people. And you can see what they're doing right now. I mean, 2 days ago, we looked like absolute hell, like we were going straight down. And now we're right back up to the high end of the range. So we're going to have a 40 handle range. Sorry, 400 handle range.
Right.
For God knows how long until this resolves. And I'm telling you, people are going to go nuts here. But you're going to see a lot of blown out accounts until that next move gets revealed to us. And I think that next move is lower.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, just talking about your story, I remember when you hit it and you were typing it in the chat, and I think you ended up like what 1.6 in total.
Yeah, something like that.
And I'm like, of all times for Lucci to be in Colombia after he just made $1.6 million, like I was like, I can only imagine what he's gonna do tonight, like where he's gonna be, where he's dropping cash. Like I was trying to like live vicariously through you. I'm like, I wonder what this guy's doing, because after all that move, did you trade those next few days in Colombia before the conference,
dude? So you got to remember the day of the live trading session, which was a Monday. Yeah. That was the weekend after. So the weekend passed, and then futures opened up on Sunday. I'm fucking wasted, bro. I'm wasted. I get back to the crib where everybody's at the hotels, and everybody's looking at me like something's wrong. And I'm like, the fuck is wrong with y'all? What's going on? And then dude's like, dude, we're down. You don't want to see this shit. You don't want to see this shit, because they all knew too. And I lost, dude. My heart just dropped. No, I was like, no. And Sykes is there. Sykes is the loudest loud, and he's just jumping up and down. He's like, dude, are we trading? Pull up your computer. Let's trade some futures. I'm like, dude, I'm wasted right now.
Wasted not trying to give up the 1.6 I just made.
So the next day, bro, was just, it was hard, man. It was hard for me because, obviously it was crazy range, and so but I basically stayed off the keys, because once I make that, there's always that little hesitation. There's always a little period in time where you're just like, do I want to jump back in, or do I want to just fucking sit here and enjoy it? And then, dude, Colombia's, it's gorgeous, man. So we had such a nice hotel, and
yeah, of course.
So I couldn't shoot back in, man.
What a group of people to be with, though, when all that was going off. And what did you do? I mean, on Tariff Day, right? With those crazy moves. I mean, what were you doing then? Like, what did you take? Because I wasn't here. I was on vacation, so I missed all that fuckery.
Well, you're talking Liberation Day when I put the position on.
No. I'm talking on that Wednesday when I was on the cruise, right? We ripped that 500 handles up on Tariff Day.
Oh,
the bum headline came first from CNBC.
Right?
Yeah, you caught the initial drop, and then we had all that fucking shit from 4,800 up to 5,500, basically over 3 days, where everything went bonkers.
I didn't do anything, bro. I didn't do shit.
It's probably the right play.
I didn't do shit. You want to know why? Because I looked at it, I was like, this is I'd never seen that in my entire life trading. Like that was. It was like 600 handle. It was like straight up, bro. I've never seen that shit
in like minutes too. I mean, I was sitting there and I saw the messages like in Slack when I was in the middle of the ocean, and I'm like, what do you mean we just ripped 200 handles in 7 minutes? And I had to go pull up a chart on spotty Wi-Fi, because I was like, what the fuck is going on? And then sure enough, I'm like, holy crap. And then they killed the whole move because it was a bullshit headline.
Yeah, so that's what I started doing. So I started shorting into that for the following day. Yeah. And then the following day, we almost limited down. Actually, we hit limit down. We hit limit down. They waited the 2 minutes, and then they just bounced everything. I caught that really nice. I caught that bounce from limit down really nice. But that move on tariff day, once the news came out, then they just melted everything up. Another fucking 100, 200 handles. I didn't participate in it at all. And there's a lot of people that had mega days, probably their best days out of the year, just on that day alone. The problem is everybody held. Most retail held everything. They went super long, and they're like, "All right, this shit is a done deal, and we don't have to worry about this anymore." And they're long. And if you look at these people, they're dying right now. You know what I mean?
Did you hear what happened to Smitty those 2 days?
No,
Bro, it's
I'm assuming
fucking,
he put on some serious risk.
I'm talking massive size. So, like, for those that don't know who Smitty is, he runs a book for a big guy, and they trade, fat size. He held long into the dump, the entire dump, and then the pop back up. They were long into it, so he was down 4 million at one point on his P&L. 4 million, and held it all the way back up to fucking green, because the way that guy shoots, like in the book, they don't average, they just shoot. So they were long gold futures, they were long NQ, they were long, I think, even like they were just mega long fucking everything. And then it dumped because they got the headline. He's like, all right, we're gonna shoot up. They get that CNBC headline, they get in, and then they get blown out. And he was like, yeah, dude, I was down 4, and we ended up getting slightly green by the end of it once it ripped back up, but they held the entire time, both days. That's overnight too.
I mean, so they had no hedge though. They had
nope.
hedge.
That guy doesn't know what a hedge is. Not Smitty. Smitty does, but his guy has he doesn't hedge, and he just shoots.
He shoots. He sounds like me.
Yeah, I'm in. This is my conviction. CNBC says that, tariff pause.
Right. And they leaned it down. Oh my God, man. Do you know how, like, after a trade like that, you can sit there and say whatever the fuck you want, and you can sit there and say it was lucky and say it was unlucky, or say that you knew it was going to happen, or say that you knew it was bullshit. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, like, whatever story you want to tell yourself is the story that you're going to tell yourself in your head. You tell anybody else that story, they'll call you a fucking insane person and blah, 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 all kinds of other stuff. But in reality, that's trading, man. That's trading. Yeah. That's literally trading.
I think we just got some sort of headline. I don't know.
They've been doing this. They've been doing this all day,
dude.
They've been doing this all day.
You get a small little word of tariff, the algos go crazy on a candle for 10 seconds.
That's also helping. I mean, these market makers and this whole environment here, they have to price that in. So anytime these programs happen, that's why the spreads widen out. There's less liquidity in the SPX 0DTEs. At the same time, there's a lot of option. There's a lot of opportunity. If you can catch these inflection points, like today, even once we started selling, like I caught that really, really good. And our indicators, by the way, the new ones that we put together, inside the 0 day room, that shit has been helping me so much, bro.
Yeah, I
can't even explain. Yesterday, when finally we recovered, like it was just a fat man show. It was just literally everything. So it was just a end of day long kind of scenario, and that's why I went so heavy on the long side here. So I had a really, really, really great day yesterday, and then half the time now for me is just learning how to fucking shut it down if the shit's not there, and then just waiting around. I mean, just because there's so much range, it doesn't mean that, you're going to make $1 million every day. Oftentimes you're going to lose that because you're going to get biased. You're going to get this, you're going to, these things happen.
We'll chop you out with this volatility.
Chop you out with this stuff, and then, any directional move that you think it's just not going to last. There's going to be programs here too. You got bombs being thrown at you by ways of fucking Bessent bust it down, whatever the fuck his name is.
Bessent busting down. I think that's a good way. We should coin that phrase right now. He's busting down.
Whatever, so you got it. You have to be careful. You have to be careful out here. But there's some really sweet scalps that we're starting to take advantage of here in the 0 day room over here inside this team room. So thank God for all the stuff that we're doing over there, and thank God for this volatility, man. Shit, man, I'm loving it.
Yeah, volatility's been good. I mean, for those watching, that's what we got up on the stream right now is, our two GEX tools that we use, which is, dealer positioning and gamma, just purely for 0 DTE. As the day goes on, it updates. And then, we obviously have our charts, which have, they're looking a little cluttered right now. That's just because we're testing out the difference between ES and SPX. But, these things have been pretty money. Like a lot of what we've done. I mean, if you go back on our Twitter page too, like, there was a day where we had every single MJ trade that you guys have come up with hit all three in the same day with fat moves. It wasn't like a scalp. Like, we're talking bottom tick to top tick for the day. And I had people trying to tell me that I was full of shit. And I'm just like, I got proof this shit been on a chart since an hour into the market. Like, shit was money.
Yeah, bro. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Now we're just waiting to see what if they're gonna do anything. I mean, it's been a really slow close yesterday it was slow. The day before that, with Monday, was wild. But it took them the last hour of the day to run it up from 5,100 to 5160.
Right. I mean, for us to move, dude, 2 days ago, we looked like we were at 508 SPY, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We were at 508 SPY. Now we're at 538 because of bust it down, bro. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Get the fuck out of here. So that's how bad they're going to whipsaw you now. So if you're positioned on the wrong side of something, let's say at the low end of the range, the high end of the range is 400 handles away. You're fucking smoked. You are smoked. So they're going to do this, I think, for the whole earnings season, possibly a little bit after. Remember, he got 90 days. So when is that? So it's 90 days from that crazy wick candle up. So how many days are we? So what is that? That's 409, right? So that's till July, bro.
Yeah.
That's till July. Think about it. That's till July. So we could be doing this for the whole month of May, for the whole month, you know what I mean? Until there's some fresh news that comes out that really pushes the narrative. But remember, in my opinion, news always aligns with what was always going to happen to begin with. It sounds crazy, but it is what it is. But they're going to trap. They're going to use this news to trap you, and that's going to be where the meat is. That's going to be where the honey is. So you gotta sit there and mess around in this range until the most amount of people are just trapped to one side, and that news is coming around the corner here to screw them all out of their positions. And I think that's what's going to happen again and again and again. And it has been happening since I started this whole trading thing from 2006. Nothing has changed in reality, but obviously the moves and the news and all that kind of stuff, it does. It feels different, but it all just repeats itself, in different products too. Fucking another thing to throw out there is this crypto shit, bro. You've been watching BTC, bro?
I was calling it out all morning what it did.
You've been watching
this
programs.
There's sell programs like crazy this morning.
But this I don't know. There's so many narratives going on about the fact that the dollar and like what's going on in the world, and that's why so many people are picking up this BTC. Did you see the that Mueller guy coming up with some kind of an ETF, and he's buying a I think it's Meller or something like that, and it's kind of an offshoot of MSTR, or I don't know if it was part of MSTR or what the hell it was. Let me see.
What is that?
Meller, MSTR. Yeah, Meller. No. Let's see if we can find it. I don't know if I can find it, but basically it's another just huge buyer of BTC. And it's all BTC too, by the way. I mean, if you look at most of the other altcoins, they're not doing shit.
Are you talking about Bill Miller, the guy that was like invested into MSTR that like slashed his shares, or he's doing something different?
I don't think so. I don't think it was.
There's somebody who like cut all of his shit from MicroStrategy. He's like, I'm out.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't know, but they're doing another thing. So you're doing another guy that wants to come in and basically have a fund that's entire value is
exactly another similar situation to that. I can't find it, but once I find it, maybe I'll toss it out here. Guys, if you guys know what it is, please let us know. Let's see if I can get the BTC up. But anyways, I mean, the bid in BTC is obviously of note, man. It's obviously of note, and I sometimes, like, I had a huge short position on this. Thank God I got out, bro. I got out under 80, and I'm like, dude, I can't take this anymore because the short was terrible. It wasn't even as good. It wasn't even close to as good as the equity markets were. So I was like, dude, I'm not sticking around on this. You know, I still want the short. Like, I still want it to go to 60,000 and test whatever Sailor's new fucking price or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, his average cost isn't that great. I think he's at like 68,000 now.
68. Yeah, he's the crazy thing is he's buying all this shit up here, man. Like another 60,000 BTC, bam, 93,000. Like, bro, do you want to wait for these cycles, bro? Like, you want to just prop this up? I just think he's so gung-ho on this shit that he's just going for $1 million or whatever the hell it is, and none of this stuff matters to him. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm looking at his there's a tracker that could give you all the value of what he bought. I mean, he's been buying like crazy up here, way more than he usually does. Like the amount of buys that he has had in the end of 2024 into 2025 is nuts. And it's, I mean, they just raised that $500 million to buy just to get it at this price. I'm just like, what the fuck? I mean, he was buying it at 106. 106, he bought another $500 million worth.
Fucking sick, bro. Fucking sick, man.
I mean, so, I mean, what I've always thought of this, like, what happens, and I'm not saying it will, but let's say you get a little bear market in crypto again. What happens when you dip below? Like, at what point does that entire thing
I mean, that whole thing happened. It already happened. It happened at 17,000. So it happened at 70,000. At 17,000, his price was like, I don't know, somewhere around there. And we tested it, and you know, nothing fucking happened. Nothing happened. I mean, even if it does go to that price, they still supposedly have enough reserves that everything is all good. Now, of course, if it goes significantly below, I mean, I don't know. But he'll always say we'll raise more cash and buy more.
Yeah, that's all he's gonna do. He's just like, wow, this is a he'll just call it a generational buying opportunity whenever Bitcoin gets below a specific price and raise another $500 million through preferred stock to just buy it up.
Yeah. Oh, so okay, here it is. 21 Capital. This is gonna be a SPAC, basically, a special purpose SPAC from Cantor Fitzgerald. At the closing, 21 will be majority owned by Tether. Blah, 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 blah. 21 and CEP have also entered into subscription agreements with investors to raise 585 mil and then some convertible notes and then common equity. And then the net proceeds from these offerings will will be used to purchase additional Bitcoin and general corporate purposes. 21 expects to launch with more than 42,000 BTC, which would make it the third largest Bitcoin treasury in the world as of today. So that was news today. So you got this buyer out here grabbing another 42,000. Bro, what the fuck?
So you said 21st Capital?
21. 21. Yeah, it's 21. The word spelled out.
Yeah. I got you. I see it right now.
Yeah, and this is going to be
$3.6 billion SPAC.
There you go.
Oh.
Wait, so if it's a SPAC, is that going to be publicly traded?
Yeah. I mean, what's the ticker? It'll seek to trade under the ticker XXI.
All right, there we go.
So XXI will be your ticker. Right now, the shares of Cantor, I'm assuming maybe that's a holding company, trades under the symbol CEP.
Cantor Fitzgerald. I mean, they're fucking huge.
Yeah, so CEP is what you can trade still.
Holy shit, look at the stock today, bro.
Yeah, it's running. But you can do XXI. They're going to raise.
XXI is not even open.
It's expected to provide 540 million in proceeds to 21 as the company entered a subscription agreement to raise another 500. Yeah, they're just going to buy the living shit out of this.
All right, it's time to clean up some space in my watch list and put on some shit. That's what we going to do. Let's get rid of this. All right, so we got to add, what is it again? CEP. This is Cantor.
CEP is Cantor, and then they have 21 will be XXI.
Which is XXI. All
right, we're getting some selling here. I might dabble.
I have short calls, so my premium is going to nothing. So I'm happy about that. And then I still have my Junes. But you know what? Now that I just threw out that 90-day shit, bro, I think I got to get more time, man. I think I got to buy some July. I think I got to buy some August, something like that.
Short calls, or are you talking puts?
I have short calls in my day trade shit. I'm talking my swing puts.
Swing puts, yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking about my swing puts here. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
Everything has just gotten so fucking slow.
Yeah. My calls went to shit, man. So I'm up 10 racks today, which I'm happy about because this easily could have been a down horrible day.
Yeah, it could have got crushed today. The whipsaw they had this morning. I mean, it was pretty violent.
Crazy chop. All right, I'm gonna come out of everything. All right, I'm flat. Up 11.1. I'll take it. I will take it. And I did that mostly by shorting calls, and then it was a lot of Q scalps. Dude, I've been trading a lot more Q. Once SPX premiums just get too crazy for me, I'll go to the Qs. I'll start shooting in the Qs.
Got to get you on the futes. I think you'd love NQ trading.
Dude, I have to get on the futes.
That's what I usually trade.
My Ninja Trade, like, it's like Ninja Trade doesn't want me over there, man. They're asking for fucking all kinds of shit. And you know me, man. I don't. If it requires a printer, I ain't doing it. I'm not doing it.
I'll get you. We got some hookups. We could talk.
Please.
We can get you on that good. You can, if I get you on like AMP or Edge Clear, but you can trade pretty much on any platform you want, and the hookup's really easy.
Yeah, man. Indeed.
And AMP is cheap. AMP's really cheap actually, because futures fees suck.
Yeah. Yes, sir. What's going on with you over there?
Honestly, right now I'm kind of just waiting. I mean, today was mostly just scalping across the board for me. I mean, for those that don't know what I trade, I primarily trade NQ and I scalp. I'll do some longer term plays like leaps, but this isn't the environment for me to put that shit on. Yeah. It's just too much volatility, and with VIX being as high as it is, like I don't like paying for the premium for a lot of this shit. It's just not my bag. You got to be able to trade around it, or have the fucking cojones to hold that shit like Lucci does. So I know what I'm good at it, and I'm good at taking 25, 50, 75, 100 points on NQ. But I mean, this is looking like they want to bring us lower, which is what I want. But I'll be honest, like my short-term bias is that they might actually continue like another leg up at some point. I don't know if it's today, next week, 2 weeks from now. And then that's when I actually would probably put on more like left tail risk and like start putting like swing shorts on the indexes again.
Yeah.
Right now it's just chop. So I'd rather, today is a day where my average trade time is like 30 seconds and it worked.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it just, you're getting these fast pulls. I'm playing the momentum off the headline.
Yeah, I think what's so important is to be quick, solid executions, and then pick your spots, man. Pick your spots, man. If you flip-flop too much, like, oh, this didn't work, so now I'm gonna short now. Oh, the short didn't work, now I'm gonna go long. Yeah, the recipe for fucking disaster, bro. Recipe for disaster, man. But
the speed is what I like, right? So like now when we get into this lunch hour shit, right? This is too slow for me, right? I want my move to happen in 30 seconds. I don't want to have to sit here for 10 minutes and wait to guess which fucking direction they're going to go off something. Or because headline risk too, right? The longer I hold this shit, the more headline risk I have. Like Trump could say the word fucking tariff and now I'm blown out for no reason.
Exactly. The risk of that is way, especially if if you guys are writing options and you've been good at writing options for the longest, for the long period in time, and you're running into this market and you're trying to write this shit. Oh man, it could break you. It could break you and blow up your account, because what's going to happen during these programs is you don't have anything to get out on, because the market makers are gone. They're gone. They pull all their liquidity. They pull everything. So you got nothing to get out on. So you sold something at $6. Now you think the bid is $20, but you can't even get out at $20 because it's 20 by 40. It's fucking 15 by 35 spread. What are you going to do? You can't do anything. And the only thing you can do is hedge. But how are you going to hedge? You're going to hedge in another option? You can't do that. The spreads are already fucked up. You gotta think about all this stuff, and put yourself in the best situation. Oftentimes, because we have such a range, we can really just chill out. You can really chill out. Like, your move is coming. There's plenty of stuff that's coming. And then by the time 230 hits, like, look at now, right? So let's take a look at SPX. SPX is trading 53.90, right?
Yeah, we're up 2% on the day.
Yeah, you go to 20 handles out now. It's only $4. 20 handles out at the beginning of the day was fucking $30. It was $40. Now it's $4. You get a 20 handle move, and in the last 2 hours of the day, these options double. You know what I mean? So you can take lotto tickets. You can just do a 1 lot, 2 lot, and you can make 10 grand on a fucking 2 lot, man. If you catch a spot at the end of the day, you know what I mean? So just don't be in such a hurry, especially if you're seeing huge gaps and you're pissed off that you missed them, and you're just trying to shoot around. Just chill, man. Just chill. It's coming. Like, it's coming. Your move's coming.
Yeah, you don't have to play in this. If this is not your game and you're not good at it, you don't have to play in this choppy shit. There's going to be momentum trades you'll be able to ride off of, whatever it is, headlines, macro news, whatever the hell it is. You'll find better spots to kind of get in and do it. I mean, today is a perfect example. I know some really good traders that got smacked around all morning, right? Because the algorithms just absolutely, crushed them.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. So what the fuck else are we talking about today, bro?
Whatever you want, Luch. You could talk. We could trade. I mean, I'm waiting. There's nothing for me to trade right now. I'm waiting.
This is nothing. I mean, I need to blow up this screen here of yours and see where we're at. Looks like we're just chopping. There's those put walls that we have up on the gamma levels that they've been a decent shot, and it looks like we're bouncing straight off that 0 gamma there on the Qs and the SPX. So those would be your spots there. ADD is just kind of, it's holding, but the Qs came off more so. Did you see that Boeing, bro?
Yeah, that piece of shit. You love that name.
I think once we come out of all of this shit, I'm not going to go ahead and buy it now because I still think the market's going low.
You want to be long this shit, don't you?
I want to be long this. I'm going to be super long this, and I think it's going to be a monster trade towards the end of the year for me. We'll see. We shall see. And then this CEP, like, I want to watch this thing and then crush it. Because once BTC has a pullback, all these things are correlated. You know what I want to is this MSTR pullback. I tried to hit it today. There wasn't much meat on it. But, once we get a decent move down on this BTC, if we even do, shit, I'd like to take a look at that. I'd like to take a look at that one. And that one moves kind of independently than the market. Also, if you take a look at these banks, if you look at Goldman Sachs this morning, the fucking thing printed 552. Insane.
Oh damn! Look at how much they sucked it right off. Holy crap!
And they came all the way back in. So I'm actually shorting Bank of America, but out to July. So I got plenty of time on that. I think gold can probably go down a little bit more. And then beyond that, you just got to wait for these earnings. Tomorrow is the big day. Tomorrow you got earnings from everybody. I think Meta's tomorrow. I think there's a bunch of shit tomorrow. Yeah.
Today we got O'Reilly, IBM, Chipotle, Texas Instruments. Tomorrow before the open, you get American Airlines, Pepsi, FCX, Love, Merck. And then I think you get the big hitters tomorrow, Thursday after the close. Google, INTC, T-Mobile.
No, Intel already reported.
Really? It's telling me Intel on earnings whispers.
Yeah, Intel reported yesterday.
They probably got it wrong then.
At the close. But either way, I mean, Intel didn't do much. This stock sucks. This stock is pure trash. There was that OKLO. What happened to this thing?
Yeah, so that shit was nuts. So after hours yesterday, right at the close, they announced that Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, is stepping down as the chairman of Oklo. And they crushed it, and then they bought the whole thing back pre-market and some, and just ran it up all day. And then there was an upgrade. There was some upgrades that came in. People are, I think it was Bank of America that said they see like 34% upside now on this.
Yeah. Yeah. How many people watching trade funded sims? I'm asking for folks in the comments here. So people coming in on X and YouTube. How many of you guys trade funded sims? Go ahead and let me know, and then let us know where you trade at, like which one of them that you trade at. Another name, Joe, is that PLTR, bro. I don't know what the fuck.
Piece of
I
shit.
mean,
it trades at 540 p.
It hit 65 that one day for a second, and then it's gone, man. So there's a couple of names that are just, that are just going nuts. Okay, most of you guys trade at Top Step, so we got a couple of people at Top Step. Okay. Yeah, so that there's a couple of names here that are definitely flying under the radar here and not experiencing any, roughness whatsoever. And you would think, it'd be spread out a lot more than that. I mean, of course, you got your McDonald's, which is still looking great. You got your, you got your names like that, which are still looking pretty damn good. And then Melly's another one.
Melly flies under the radar a lot.
Yep, Mercado Libre, and that's another one. And then if you look at the booking too, booking really hasn't come off that much either. So there's plenty of bullishness, you could say, in this tape. I think the Baba there too. A lot of people are taking a look at that one. I'd be careful though, going long anything in reality for longer than short periods in time. Unless you're buying leaps and you're in it in stock and all this kind of stuff. Deanna here is saying top step bull knocks, take profit trader. Can you Joe take a look at that bull knocks, whatever the fuck that is, bull in knocks, and then take profit trader. Keep those ones up. And then my funded futures, top step payout is best. Sam Altman. Oh yeah. CELH. Oh, Celsius. Somebody's saying CELH is unaffected.
Yeah, but that got torched.
That got torched. I mean, the valuation is stupid anyway.
Because I've been in this name for a very long time on an equity play. So
yeah.
I rode the entire wave up and then rode the entire wave down.
Yeah. Another thing that I've been seeing a lot too is last 10 minutes, you get some crazy program activity.
Yeah,
there's some solid times to just take lotto tickets here.
Yeah, we had it on Monday. I mean, we were at 5,100. That was a major put wall.
Yeah.
It took like an hour before the close, which, that took forever for the move to go. Those $1 options went to 15 fucking bucks. We closed.
Yeah, I had them at $1.50. I sold at $4. They went to fucking 12.
I did.
15,
so did I.
Whatever the hell they were.
I had them at $1, sold them for $4. I mean, it's just, and that's usually a really good lotto play. You know what I mean? I didn't expect it to go any further than that, but it is what it is.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So we'll keep looking out for comments here. Supposedly Trump is speaking at 5 p.m. I'm not sure what exactly he's talking about, but I can't imagine. I can't imagine it's not going to be about the tariff stuff.
Of course, it's going to be about tariffs.
Exactly.
That's the hot word. Maybe there's some futures to trade if you really want to fuck around.
Solars here to me are the only sector here that is just down. Like energy today, down, and besides that, I don't really have much else. MasterCard and Visa have been unscathed as well. Here as well. So keep an eye on those. And then, of course, we got all those earnings coming out tomorrow, which, of course, we're going to want to pay attention to. Other than that, man, I don't got anything else, bro.
Yeah, that's all I got. I ain't got nothing either. For the people that are trading the prop accounts, like at Top Step, like how are you guys doing with all of this? Like the volatility, you guys blowing out a lot? Are you guys like picking good spots? I'm just curious because, depending on how new you are, I don't think a lot of people have traded in environment like this. And if you've only been in the game for like the last 2 years, let's say, you kind of got a nice, what I'll call a sweetheart market where, getting long is all you really had to do most of the time. So curious how you guys are doing with all that volatility.
Yeah.
Micros is smart. Scalping, definitely smart. I mean, it's the shit I do. I mean, I have my own personal account, but I still trade in Top Step. especially when you get this volatile shit like this. I just, from a comfort standpoint, like I've never had a problem getting a payout from them. So I'm like, yeah, sure. if shit goes sideways, it's not my problem.
Right. 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 I think the next move that I'm lining up for is just a retrace of that gap on SPY. So that's all I'm going to be looking for. So that would be.
You're going to swing that with time once we get to a certain point too, right?
I'm already swinging with time, so I want to catch it day off. So
Gotcha.
so my one account that I'm mainly focused on, that's at Center Point, that's the day trading account, and then I have my Fidelity stuff where I'm just fucking shooting swings out there and going nuts on on a bunch of stuff that has some time on it, and then I'll hedge it and I'll play around with this stuff. And then I have another couple of individual accounts that I want to just move this cash over to a futures account, but Ninja is just fucking with me, and I don't know where else to go.
You liked what Clear's Centerpoint announced today? More after hours expanded overnight trading access?
Well, I yelled at him for not having the SPX for not having the SPX shit. I mean, Fidelity has overnight and at 4 a.m.
Yeah,
you can trade you can trade
too.
SPX. You can trade SPX. And I'm like, you guys are supposed to be the top dogs here, and you guys are catering to traders who fucking know their shit. And you don't have this stuff? Like, what the fuck? They don't even have the quotes for it. You know what I mean? I have to look at other platforms to get quotes for it. And that's just, so I yelled at them for that. I don't know if they made any moves on it, but the after hours action is, shit. Look at it this morning alone. This morning we wake up to a ridiculous gap up, and then what happens? We go another 40, 50, 60 handles on top. You know what I mean? We just kept stretching. That meta went fucking 12 points after the gap. It gapped up 20 and then went another 12 points on top. You know what I mean? So this shit's moving, man. Shit is moving. When it's crazy like that, you got to be able to open up your doors to it. Plus, you want that commission anyway. So what the fuck is the problem?
Yeah, how's the liquidity on the? Oh, you haven't traded it. I was gonna say.
No, I've traded it on Fidelity. I've traded it on Fidelity. Yeah,
liquidity's okay.
Obviously, a lot worse, but it's okay. It's fine.
Enough to get in.
It's enough to get in. It's enough to get in. Yeah, man. Fedora the Explorer, market plus 3%, fade it, market down 3%, buy it. Well, let's do that for the next 2 months and then come back to us with some data.
Jay made a good point this morning on the broadcast for a lot of our members where he's just like, one day it's, the world's blowing up. We're in a bear market, 3% down. The next day we're ripping 3%. It's bull. Everyone's going crazy. It's tough to trade when you have a bias on something. But yeah, shit, if we get a 3%, that was half of why I took even the lotto the other day. We were down 3% of the day. We didn't touch VWAP once.
Right.
Like I figured there might be short covering, right? That was the entire play, and it was a cheap lotto ticket.
Right.
That's what you're looking for if you really scalp intraday. But if you want to take something intraday like that, you look for a level of extreme and play off of that. You can get shit pretty cheap.
Yeah.
And I usually wouldn't tell people to take lottos. This is just a market where they can work.
They can work. Especially if you're up on the day. That's
the key.
If you're up on the day and you're doing, you're having a good day, take a one lot shot on something that you feel good about. That lotto that me and Joe were in, that shit looked good. It looked like we wanted to squeeze, so we took it. And then you know what your risk is. You're going to lose $1,000, and
that's it.
You could make 4 or 5, could make 10.
Shit, you held the whole time. You're making 15.
Right.
That's really tough to do, though, especially as you get cash settled close.
Of course. All right. But let me get out of here, Joe. I'm going to go fucking take a nap, man. And, dude, I played beach tennis. I played beach tennis at fucking 6 in the morning for 2 hours. I played last night, too. My body is fucking shot, man.
Yeah, for sure. This was fun. We'll just for everyone watching, we're going to be doing more of this. We might do it when there's a little bit more stuff to trade, like in the mornings and stuff. Lucci and I'll be on here, mostly trading the indexes. I'll do indexes a lot. He'll be doing equities and indexes. And for anybody listening too, we're rolling out our new Gex tool tomorrow. So the one you see on the screen is the legacy version. Gex Ray 2 will be out tomorrow. It's pretty sick. So if you haven't gotten a trial to come hang out with us, by all means do. I'll drop a link in the chat for everybody.
All right, man.
Cool. Later.
Talk soon, bro.